Hey everyone, it's Kenna and welcome back and welcome to my playthrough of this incredibly delightful game called Red Trigger. I just wanted to pop in and give you a heads up. I am doing post-commentary for this game because when I tried to do my regular thing of doing commentary while I played, I noticed I was so focused and enthralled with this game that I kind of kept forgetting to talk. So I thought post-commentary would be the best avenue for this particular playthrough. Also, I'll probably just be popping in every once in a while, probably be more of a minimalistic commentary coming from me in this one because I think the game just kind of speaks for itself. And you really don't need my nasally, somewhat southern twangy biological audio ruining the atmosphere of this just incredibly fun game. So without further ado, let's get into Red Trigger. Alright, here at the beginning of all things, I think we should probably discuss plot. And it's pretty simple, pretty basic. You play a computer virus called, you guessed it, Red Trigger. And your goal in this game is to try and infect or infiltrate this computer system that you find yourself in. Red Trigger came out in 2016, so I'm only 4 years late. Story of my life. I always miss these games when they first come out, so I'm always feeling like I'm playing catch up, but better late than never, I say. And it was actually created by a gentleman called Maxime Vezina. I am so sorry if I mispronounced your name. And he designed it for a university he was attending as a final project. And it took him about 15 weeks to finish, and you can get about 40-ish minutes of gameplay, and all of this information is on this game's official Steam store. The first couple of times I played it, I got anywhere between 32 to 37 minutes, and that's including all the times I died, and I died quite a bit. I don't mind admitting that. And if you couldn't tell, Red Trigger is an FPS puzzle game. But going back to the deaths, unlike other games, every time I died, I didn't find myself getting frustrated about it. Which is kind of odd. This seems like the type of thing that would really irritate me. I mean, this isn't Bloodborne. Bloodborne, I had to take months off at a time. I would get so frustrated with dying all the time. I'm looking at you, Shadows of Yharnam. I recorded a lot of my playthroughs for this game. The reason I went with this one to put up is because this part I got on the first try, which for me is really quite the miracle. It's definitely a game where timing matters. Now, this part coming up, I feel I would be remiss if I did not mention this. I did encounter a glitch. I encountered it one time, never to be seen or heard from again. I did something like this. I died. Majestically, I might add. And when I respawned in the room, oh God. There's a laser grid obviously coming up through the floor, but before I could even get to that first platform, which is when, you know, once you step on that platform, that's when the laser grids start. But before I could even get to that, the game was acting like the laser grid was already there and I was kind of walking into it. So I kind of got stuck in this death loop, but all I did was exit to the main menu and choose level select, and it straightened itself out. And like I said, I've played this game like 6 times and I haven't experienced that particular glitch or any others. So I'm not going to hold it against this game at all. I'm definitely one of those people that are guilty of spending $60 on AAA games, namely Bethesda, knowing their track record for putting out unfinished, just absolutely buggy, glitchy messes, and kind of giving them a pass, I guess. So yeah, these AAA gaming studios have, you know, teams working on their games, money at their disposal that an independent developer does not have. So they're people who should know better. So I'm not gonna hold that one glitch against Red Trigger at all. It sorted itself out, and as far as I'm concerned, something like that, like, shit happens. Okay, the gun, as you can see, you get 3 charges. So ostensibly, you can make 3 moves. Now, if you were paying attention to the prompts that came up at the beginning of the game, when you shoot at one of the red pillars, it extends it. And if you use the right mouse button, if you click that, amazing, it retracts any and all red pillars you have extended, thus giving you back all 3 charges. Now, I did not realize this, but I would find myself in situations where I had no charges, and so I would just right-click to get all my charges back, and killed myself quite a few times, not realizing that if there was a red pillar I had extended and didn't have any use for any longer, if I had just pointed at it with my gun and left-clicked it again, the gun would retract it and subsequently give me 1 charge back. So, there's that. I like looking at some of the environments in this game and trying to figure out what would that actually be in a computer. I mean, that was water. Maybe you can get computers with like liquid coolers or whatever they're called. I'm showing how untechnical I am. I was having a hard time with this room when I first got this game, and so I went online to find somebody who played it to see what they did, and the person I found was getting on top of these platforms and extending them and jumping kind of over the laser beams, and every time I tried it, I'm getting crushed between the pillar I've extended and the ceiling. I keep dying. What am I doing wrong? I couldn't figure it out. Turns out that particular gameplay I watched came out kind of near when the game came out, and what they were doing was actually a glitch. And Mr. Vezina had gone back and fixed it, so it was no longer, I guess, exploitable by the time I got the game. So I was like, oh, that's why I keep dying. I'm not actually supposed to be able to do that. I think Red Trigger would actually be a speedrunner's paradise. I mean, it's not super long, but just for, kind of kicks and giggles, I think they'd have a great time. Or if somebody was thinking about getting into speedrunning, I think this game would be excellent practice for them. As you can see in the right corner of the screen, there is a timer. You can activate it and deactivate it in the main menu. So, yeah, I think it would be good practice and just fun to try speedrunning with. I did find the further I went in this game, I won't say the puzzles got harder necessarily. I did find myself having to take more time to think about what my next move would be. This definitely is kind of a trial and error type of game. I'd walk into a room and stand there. I found myself standing there for a little bit longer trying to figure out, okay, wait, how, and then just kind of doing this, shooting the pillars and seeing how they moved. It's also a game where I make a move and I'm like, I'm not actually sure that's what I was supposed to do, but hey, if it works, it works. I'm fine with it. It's like you can hear my brain thinking, isn't it? Trying to figure this one out. I'll get there. Don't worry. Nope. I think one of the biggest things this game has going for it is the visuals. It's very simplistic. I kind of feel like if Marie Kondo made a game, this is what it would look like. Very clean lines, no clutter, everything in its place and a place for everything. Very polygonal, very just like how you would expect maybe a computer inside a computer to look. I mean, if you look at a motherboard, everything has got its like circuit pathway and everything. And while I absolutely appreciate how far we've come with gaming engines, especially with the graphics, I mean, I have to say the Decima engine that was used for Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think they lent out to Kojima for Death Stranding. Death Stranding's not really my cup of tea. but I can appreciate the visuals. It looked really nice. And I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. And the RE engine. I probably have to say the RE engine is probably my favorite as of this moment for absolutely no particular reason. I just like it. But it's as really fetching as those games look on those engines. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a visual overload. There's just a lot going on. And it can kind of, maybe for some, get a little overwhelming. It's kind of like, what do I look at next? What do I look at? It's all so nice looking. And I think sometimes going back to a more basic looking game like this, and again, it's an indie developer. I think this used Unreal 4. He's not, Mr. Vezina didn't have a whole team of developers and everything to help him out here. But it's very retro, very Tron, which makes sense considering Tron took place in a computer. This game kind of revels in its simplicity, and it doesn't lose any of its charm in doing so. I think the look and feel and gameplay of Red Trigger is definitely a boon. Not a boon, a boon for it, not a detriment. It took us an hour, but we did it. See, these are the games I always want to do really good at. I'm like, oh, yes, jump. Move fast, be the gazelle that you want to be and know you are inside. And then my gameplay, I always feel like it's so sloppy. Uh-oh. I think we might have infected the computer. And good for Mr. Vezina. Finally giving computer viruses everywhere a voice, a platform to live their truth, as it were. Whatever the hell that means. You never get that side of the equation. I have the most excellent deaths, I think. Again, timing is everything in this game. This game also kind of reminds me of Mirror's Edge. I know that sounds a little weird. I think I left this in because I don't think this was supposed to happen. It just kind of launched me. I jumped and it launched me at the same time, and I missed a whole section. So I kind of had to kill myself because something that was supposed to happen didn't happen. But Mirror's Edge was a lot of white and red. A lot of primary color usage in this game and Mirror's Edge as well. So I think it's just the color palette that reminds me of Mirror's Edge. Also kind of how you move. I mean, you're not parkouring everywhere like Faith, but you are bouncing and jumping off your environment to progress further in the game, so. I did it! I infected a computer. And there we have it. I highly recommend this game. Like I said, it's free on Steam. It's short, quick, really fun. You can try and get better every time you play. And I really hope Mr. Vezina got a good grade from his university, because I really enjoyed this game. There are hidden gems on the Steam free-to-play page. So that's it. That's what I got for you today. I will see you folks later.